Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Onwards and Upwards, where we speak to entrepreneurs who have never given up on their dreams and passions and have moved onwards to create their own success stories. On our third episode, it is my pleasure to invite architect Vishal Shah and architect Niti Shah from Aangan Architects. Aangan Architects was established in 2001 in the city of Surat, Gujarat, and today we have with us architect Vishal Shah, who is the founder partner, and architect Niti Shah, who's a senior associate at Aangan Architects. So let's go ahead and have a chit chat with this architect couple who are partners in life and partners at work as well. Welcome Niti and Vishal to our third episode of Onwards and Upwards. This is a digital talk show where we get in touch with entrepreneurs like yourself who have struggled through and created a journey for themselves and a success story for themselves. And what we would like to know here is the hard work behind the success. Everybody sees the glamour, but we would like to know about the hard work behind the success. So welcome once again. And thank you so much for taking our time today. And I would like to begin with the first obvious question. So we would like to get to know you guys a little bit more. So tell us about yourselves.
Niti first.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm architect Niti Shah from Surat, Gujarat. I did my graduation from Faculty of Architecture, SCET from Surat, and then did my master's in urban planning from SVNIT Surat. And I am also a visiting faculty professor at Faculty of Architecture since 2006. And I'm enjoying the profession, also a passionate photographer, a traveler, and that's it. I think that's too much of myself.
So let's get to know Vishal also a little bit.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I am Vishal Shah, and I am partner and founder at Aangan Architects and Urban Initiatives. We have two firms, and apart from that, since 2002, when we started this firm, we have been practicing a lot of different kind of projects, all sorts of design projects, from small interior design installations to large urban scale projects. And I am also very passionate about teaching, and since 2002 I have been a teacher at the Faculty of Architecture. Currently I am a professor at the Faculty of Architecture SCET, and I also head the master's program in urban design at SCET. And apart from that, we do a lot of public projects as a firm, and also into projects which are innovative in nature. We would like to experiment with materials and different kind of techniques and all, and we are trying to have a mark of ours in the built environment. So that's what we do.
Okay. And, the most beautiful thing that I feel about your profession is that you bring to life people's dreams. You're building their dream homes. So a part of that is the creative element, of course, which is your designing and the architecture. But how do you integrate the lives and personalities of your clients into your design? I mean, that's, I think, a huge challenge. So how do you guys do that?
See, basically, this is what we also talk with our clients when we first meet them. Actually, we give them a presentation that what we do and how we do things. Because normally, the impression of architects or designers is that, you go and you just tell them and then they'll create magic. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's a long process. And it's very much at times also knowing the clients to a greater extent, their family, their lifestyle, and what are their likings. And a lot of times the likings, when they are kind of shown to us, the words and the images, they actually don't match. So we try to create a mind sketch of what the clients would like to have and what really they are looking forward.
Okay.
So that's where we look into their lifestyles. We look into their old homes where they live. So that's something which is a very important aspect when we start a project. and especially when we are doing houses for people, we visit their current homes. So whatever, like, wherever they are living, whether they are living in an apartment or an old house, or so we go there, we meet the family, we meet them, we see how they are living, because from there we get a lot of clues about what are their requirements, because a lot of times the clients are enamored by projects that they have seen on website, or maybe our own projects, or their friends project, or something that they have seen on the internet. So a lot of times they miss on the idea of what really they want, so that we try to find out. So all creativity and everything is based on how the client's lifestyle is and how we are going to take it further.
So at times what happens, even clients don't know actually, how they, they live their life. Because when they're talking to us, they miss out a lot of things. So when we visit them, when we ask them questions, when we try to understand, then we bring out a lot of things that we, start analyzing that this is what they really need.
Right.
So there are a lot of talks, or there are a lot of meetings that we have, there are a lot of interactive sessions that we have with our clients. And we come down to, what are we going to give them? They're actually dreaming about.
One word that we always use while we are having the first meeting with the clients is that we are into client-centric designs. It's not something that you have come to Aangan Architects, so this is the kind of product or design you will get. Never that template kind of a thing that we are comfortable with. We would like to experiment every time. We would like to get into the depths of the life of the people for whom we are designing, because most of the time when it is the homes, it kind of is where their memories are going to be built. And I think that's something which is very important, and very carefully we also as architects will have to do that.
Right. So has it ever happened that, you guys understood your clients, and however client had something really, something maybe they've seen on the internet, or something fancy that, they've seen in a friend's place, and they insist on that, but you feel that does not match the client's the nature or personality or what they are looking for. So have you had times when, you still had to go ahead with it, but you don't feel it's the right thing?
So basically, when we every time this happens, every time, every project, because for them also this is something like it's once in a lifetime thing, and they also don't want to part away with these ideas, which maybe they are feeling very strong from within, that okay, this is something I would like to have. And if it is possible for us to accommodate it in its spirit, then we do that. We don't agree to just kind of copy the same thing. We can learn from it, but we don't copy, whether they are spaces, or whether they are art piece, or whether they are any design elements. But what we try to do is, if it is agreeable, we learn from it, and we try to create something which kind of is in line with what the client is asking for. And if we don't agree with it, we create something better. We give them an option which they are not able to refuse. So it's always with the consent of the client. We don't bulldoze their ideas, saying that okay, we are architects, and whatever we say is going to be the last word. So we don't get into that. We try to convince them by giving them better options.
So that's
respect their ideas.
I think that's very important, because nowadays that's what people want. They want their to be heard, to be recognized, and I think you guys are in a profession where it's once in a lifetime. I'm building a home, I'm going to do it probably once in a lifetime. So great. But one thing that is coming to my mind is in today's world of utilitarianism, your designs are rooted so much in nature. I have seen some of the work that you guys have done. It comes out as most of the work that you guys do, it comes out as a celebration of space, as a celebration of individuals, very, very modern designs, but very, very rooted in culture. So what's the inspiration behind this beautiful amalgamation?
Basically, when we start the design, it's always, as we explained in the initial question, that it's always about the client. So learning their lifestyle and their culture, the way they live, the way the family is bonded together, because every family is different. We have done a lot of houses wherein we have joint families, brothers living together, and maybe 3 or at times even 4 generations living together in the house.
Wow.
So that's very important for us to. So see, ultimately, when we kind of sum up the requirement, every house is a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, house. So that ways it is very generic in nature. But when it comes to the study of these kind of culture and the lifestyle and the family formation, it gives very unique ideas wherein we can bring something which is kind of rooting to their lifestyle and their culture. So that's the first thing that we do. The second thing is about the place. So wherever we are doing, like maybe, whatever is the site located in the city, the mohalla, or whatever place that particular thing is, because there are a variety of things that we come across. We have done houses which are far from the city into very quiet environments, but they are not farmhouses, they are permanent houses. So there are different concerns. And when we have done a lot of houses which are right there in the center of the city on a very busy street, but still kind of, we want to give them the required quietness, the required touch of nature and all those kind of things. So climate, culture, and context are the 3 major things that we look into while we are designing. And that's why we always bring in a lot of natural elements, especially light and greenery inside the house also. And that's why we'll see that most of our projects will have courtyards. So we also take a lot of inspiration from the traditional Indian homes, the way they were done. Either they were havelis or they were those long row houses, linear houses wherein you had the light wells which were there, and there was this connection between man and nature somehow, even in the urban context. So we try to bring those things into our designs, and that's something which we feel is what is worth living with whenever you're going to live into that particular house. So you can change the furnishing maybe 5 years down the line, but this feel is something which kind of continues. So these are some of the base points from where we actually start our design.
Right. So you guys have, I think, worked on multiple kind of projects: residences, urban landscapes, workplaces, and I think even retail spaces. So are there any projects or any kind of projects that hold a special place, something which you enjoy or gives you most creative satisfaction?
We have all the projects that we do are very unique in nature, and each of them are very dear to us because we give our 100% for all our projects. But if I have to put, we have to put one project, then that would be Gopi Talao project that we did in Surat.
Yes.
And just to give you an idea about it, it was a thesis project, Vishal's thesis project for post graduation when he was doing his post graduation. It was his thesis project, and then he thought that this is the project that should be taken up by the municipal corporation, and it is beneficial for the city. It is for the city, and for almost 10-15 years we kept working on it, and finally in 2015 it was open for the public, for the city. And when we go and visit it today, we feel so happy seeing it, the way we designed every corner, every niche, and people using it exactly the way that we had thought of. And it is so well taken up by the citizen. There are so much people have appreciated that project. So that is one project which is very dear to heart, and it is going to remain with this city for hundreds years to come. Yes. So that is one project which is very dear to us.
Yes, and I think that's helped you make your mark in your city. So that's and I have seen the pictures, though. Once I visit you guys, I would definitely go there. But I have seen the pictures, and I think it's just a beautiful landscape. It's lovely. So congratulations on that. Niti and Vishal, and I think it's this question is more for Vishal, because I want to know about the journey of Aangan Architects, from 2001, the entire idea behind the conceptualization, how you came up with your partner, and how the entire journey started. And, what is the vision that brought you and architect Vishal Desai together, and how did you guys start?
Basically, Aangan formally was instituted in 2001 when I was still in my second year of my master's program in urban design. So I was studying in Ahmedabad, and from there I used to come over here in the breaks and some or the other reason. And that time I thought that okay, I would also parallelly like to kind of start practicing and start kind of putting ideas into practice and all. So we basically started with actually three of us started this firm, and all of us were classmates from the college. And then what happened is in a couple of years, one of them shifted to United Kingdom, and the other one went for higher studies and had some other plans. So I was alone for a year or so, and meanwhile Vishal Desai also was he graduated, and he was my junior in college, and we had a very good bonding, and he also wanted to kind of get into practice and all. So in 2004 he joined us, and we formally became partners, and from there both of our journey starts. So it's now almost 17 years since we have been together, and a part of Aangan Architects, along with Niti as a senior associate, and wherein she takes care of the document control of the office, the qualitative aspects of what is delivered from the office, and of course the landscape part, because every project of ours has got a landscape element. So that's what she takes care of. And Prathama Desai, Vishal's wife, and she was also our junior. So we all are from the same college. So SCET was instrumental in a lot of manner in kind of this practice, the way it has gone, and over a period of time, how we have grown as individuals also. So since then, we have been kind of together with different expertise, and what we were mentioning into the previous question about different variety of projects that we are doing.
Right.
Hence, we were able to do that because all of us had different expertise. Like I was more into urban projects and large-scale institutional architecture, while Vishal was very much good with execution of projects or with large-scale commercial, retail, and institutional project, and along with a lot of details that you do. And Prathama was into interior design and textile design and so on and so forth, and Niti of course into landscape and other environmental aspects of the thing. So in all the projects we got the opportunities to have the expertise of all four of us, and also we were able to kind of look at different projects, different scales and sizes of the project, and that kind of makes the portfolio so wide in terms of the type of projects.
Right.
Yes.
And very strong also, I think, each one of you, I mean, the main, the partners and the associates, you're bringing such a different area of expertise to the firm. So I think that's what's very beautiful about, and maybe the strongest point about your organization.
True.
And I think on the personal front as well. So SCET is responsible for a lot of things.
Yes. We all met at SCET in some or the other form as juniors. I was from the first batch of SCET, so all of them are my juniors, and as a college senior also, they used to kind of come for advice or maybe some sort of guidance and all, and from there the kind of rapport started building up, and that I think continues to this extent.
Wonderful. And I think maybe that's one of the strong bonds that keeps the organization together. Beautiful, beautiful. So, one question that keeps cropping up to my mind when you're talking about your profession, you guys are working in an industry that quite often values speed and low cost over, design quality, right? So, how do you deal with the challenge of, carrying your vision through to a completed project?
Again, a lot of questions of yours are in line with what we normally explain the client in our very first meeting, whatever, whether it's a small project or a large project, because these are some of the pertinent questions which comes to everyone's mind. There are constraints like time at a lot of instances, wherein the opening date is fixed, for example, or cost constraints, wherein we also have to respect the budget, because it's not like, and we never say that if you want to have good design, you have to have loads of money. Okay, so we respect the kind of the timeline and budget that the client has, and that has never affected the creativity or innovation into the design. So we always ask the client to give them an ETC sequence. We call it as ETC sequence. So, excellence, time, and cost. So what comes first? So we ask them, what do you want as first? Not that the others will be kind of thrown out of the window, but one out of these three things will take the front seat.
Okay.
So suppose somebody says that no, cost is my front seat, then our design decisions and selection of materials and other things are kind of governed by the cost criteria. And if somebody says it's time, then we'll use things which can be done at a faster pace than normal. And if somebody comes and tells them, no, I want something which is very unique and very excellent, then maybe we'll kind of give more time to design and more time to innovation, and those things. Of course, again and again, I kind of keep on repeating this, but the other two things doesn't go out of window. They remain, and they also kind of support this entire thing. But we respect the constraints of time and quality without kind of compromising on the innovation and creativity.
Okay.
At the same time, we also keep updating ourselves, like in terms of materials that come in market. So we have, we keep researching, we keep in touch with the market also. So from there also, we keep getting, innovative materials, low cost materials, options for various materials. So all that database, all that research also helps in coming up with such kind of projects where we can balance between the cost and the design and the the kind of details that we would like to give to the client.
Right. So tell me something, with this, with the advent of technology, people have so much access to information now. So do you have clients who come in, with a picture in hand and say, this is what I want, ye chahiye mujhe? I've seen it on the internet, and how have you guys faced such clients where there's no scope of any creativity, and you just have to stick to what they give you as a perceived idea?
So basically, in this also, again, we don't take it as a negative thing. We in fact, it helps us in understanding what they are trying to say. Okay, so again, we don't want to just pick whatever is being shown in the picture and kind of recreate it. But we try to understand that what actually they would be liking in this, whether it is the space, whether it is the color, whether it is the elements which are there as a part of whatever picture is being shown. So we try to learn from it. We try to kind of get an idea of the liking of the client, is what we take from such pictures.
Okay.
It helps us in understanding the mind's sketch of the client, and we take it forward from there and try to create something which is original. So that's how we deal with it, and we don't discourage them. We only tell them that, okay, this we are using as some sort of a start point for knowing you, but we will be creating something which is going to be original for your project. Yes.
At times what happens, client actually doesn't know what he likes. So, and he doesn't know how to put it or how to explain. So these kind of photographs that they bring in also helps us to understand, okay, this would be something that they would be liking.
Right.
So what all photographs they'll bring, we'll try and, understand, we'll try and analyze that this could be the things, could be the material, could be the texture that they would be, wanting us to develop or recreate for them. So that is how that helps us actually.
Okay.
And in today's time, when we have this whole visual bombardment of things, and that's how we have started living. Like, if we talk about Facebook or Instagram or even Pinterest and all these things, wherein you have loads of such pages which specifically are looking into interiors and houses and other kind of spaces. The normal person will always feel or get kind of eye-washed by whatever is being shown. And that's where they would also start aspiring for similar things.
Yes.
But what as an architect, and we feel that it's our responsibility to make the clients aware that, okay, maybe this is something wherein this is kind of a language wherein you are conversing with us, but we are not necessarily going to do that. We add to it. We add the experience layer, which is normally missing in this visual thing.
Right.
When you see a photograph, you don't experience things.
Yes.
So that is what we try to bring into our designs, and that's where whenever the things are done, the clients also have acknowledged that a lot of times that, okay, the feel of the space is something that is more important than the visual of the space.
So the flip side of this now, since your designs are also available everywhere, so what is the kind of plagiarism that happens in your industry when it comes to designs or working of interior space, and how do you guys deal with that?
The information, and especially the visual information, now travels so fast that it is practically impossible to keep a tab on this.
Right.
Especially when you have designed some furniture piece or some element or some wall murals and things like that, it easily gets kind of copied. And normally it's not the designers that do that, but there are a lot of product manufacturers, or when we can or we can say some people who are into sourcing and all. They kind of take these and kind of convert them into some sort of a object which can be sold. But honestly speaking, there is not much we can do about it. Whenever we come across certain thing, we obviously do write that this is not your design, this is not right that you are doing, so please remove it from either your websites or whatever it is. A lot of times even photographs of our projects are being projected as something which has been done by the firms which are there. So it's like we also try to kind of politely ask them to kind of not do this. And, but honestly speaking, yes, it's something which is the flip side of it is that a lot of time it also kind of travels like this as an idea. So the moment by the time your project inaugurates, and before that, if you have already the photographs in the virtual domain, actually you don't have something new to show at the end of the project. It's already travel so fast. But,
so I think it's a lot to do with the client's trust and your image in the market that makes a difference. Okay, wonderful. So tell me, guys, in this entire entrepreneurial journey, you guys have been, it's been quite a long journey for Aangan Architects. So have there been moments when, you guys have questioned your choices or, double guessed your decision, or, there is an uncertainty, how do you deal with those uncertainties and, the questioning?
There is always, every day is like this. So the double guessing and questioning what we are doing is right or not. But I think that is what that kind of makes us evolve every day, and kind of betters us every day.
Hmm.
And that's where also a larger team like ours helps, because it's not a one-man army wherein one person is kind of in command and whatever is being said by that one person is to be followed by everyone.
Right.
Here we are, like, at least there are 4 to 5 people who are constantly kind of into that debate, and they're questioning each other about the validity of whatever we are doing, the innovation, whether it is enough or not, the creativity that we are putting in.
Right.
So I think that is something which helps us in kind of, or at least we feel that it helps us in kind of remaining in that touch, and doesn't let us become complacent. So a lot of times, one of us kind of comes very pleased about a particular project that we have done, or something that has come out, and immediately the other one would say that, okay, but yeah, fine, but it could have been done better in this way. So we kind of keep each other into that check. So I think that helps us in kind of evolving.
Okay, I think that's a very crucial balance that we need.
So we also feel the sting at that time that, oh, I've done so much about this, and then suddenly you're telling that maybe you could have done better. But then ultimately it's for the good of the practice, and that kind of keeps on.
That keeps us on toes, that we have to do, better next time, so that at least you get a better compliment next.
So we have a very, very strong critique team in-house. So that kind of helps us grow.
And I think that's what keeps you grounded also. That's a very good way of keeping yourselves grounded.
Yes.
Okay, so on the same track, your work has been featured in many renowned magazines, and you have won numerous awards and recognitions. You have that to your credit. So nice to know about the critique part, but I would also like to know about the hard work that goes behind the success. What is the kind of support system that you guys have had, and which has helped you evolve, which has helped you reach the stage Aangan Architects is at today?
It has always been the people who have been working with us, and I like, of course, since now we are into this since now almost around 18-19 years, there are a lot of people who work with us, who have gone, who started their own practice, but we still have the kind of rapport that we used to enjoy. And I think they have at some or the other in some or the other way have contributed a lot to the way Aangan Architects has grown over a period of time. Maybe they were employees only, or they kind of were interns or joined for short or long period of time. I think the team is something to whom we would like to give the credit of whatever Aangan Architects is today. So that is something that I feel is very, very crucial, because we are known by the people we have been with. So I think they have contributed to a great extent to the development of Aangan Architects.
That's
also I would mention the clients who have put trust on us and come up with projects that we would have dreamt doing it when we started the firm. So along with the team, the clients, the contractors who have brought our innovation, our design to reality, so they are also the force that is very important for us.
So the clients have been a good patron to because whenever we talk about a practice, it's kind of creating an identity in some or the other manner. It's not about project as a picture, but maybe the philosophy of work that you create over a period of time. So I think there the clients have made a significant contribution. They have taught us a lot also in a good way. Like, we have certain clients since last 15 years or so who have been very closely associated with the progress that we as a firm are doing. Though maybe they are currently not even our clients, as in we are not working from them, but whenever there is something in the public domain, whenever they come across some projects, there'll be always a word coming that, okay, we are really happy, or no, this is how or at times also critiques also that, okay, no, this could have been done better.
Right.
And that kind of also, like, they taking interest in our development is also something which is very heartening.
Correct.
Because of course assignments and projects, they are of course important, because we ultimately are a firm, we need to survive and all these things. But I think these patronage and this camaraderie that we have enjoyed from the team and all is something wherein I would give the credits to both these sides for making what Aangan Architects is today.
That's very nice. You don't come across people who so openly say that it's their team that has brought them here. It's usually about me and us and that what we have done. But it's wonderful that you guys recognize the beauty that your team has added to your organization. Wonderful. So let's get a little personal now. You both are in the same profession, partners at work as well. So do professional differences get carried back home?
Yes, it does.
Yes, for Niti, no for me.
Okay.
Now here we'll have separate answers, because now it is going to be very personal. So
okay, I'm interested to hear both the versions. Niti, let's go with you first.
Yes, we have differences with opinion when it comes to work, because I have a very different way of dealing with the project, or thinking of the project, and he has got a very different way. And I have a nature that to put things immediately when it comes to my mind. And he is very patiently, okay, he'll think over it, he'll analyze it, and then he'll put it into practice, or he'll put it on the board.
Okay.
So that time we have a little thing, and if things doesn't work in the office, I try and solve and resolve it at home. So that is where the extension of
okay.
But still it is like a healthy discussion that we have, that it should have been like this. It's more like critics, that it should have been like this, you could have thought of this.
Okay.
The point I was making was something like this, because at office there are times that you don't get so much of time to discuss or get into details. So at times, yes, the things come home, but then that is for a very short time. Afterwards, we are both of us in our own spaces in the house. We have different things to do, so we try and bring things little less at home, because
I don't bring.
Wait, you'll get your turn. Let her finish.
No, he doesn't bring anything. Yes, for me it comes home, because I have a lot of things going on in mind, work, then home front and everything.
Yeah.
Whatever comes when I talk to him, but yes, but try and bring very less things, because otherwise we won't have anything else to talk except for the work.
Work, yeah. So Vishal, now your turn. How do you juggle the differences? So
what she was,
personal feelings.
Yeah, what she was saying is that I actually don't react as an individual. I don't react immediately. I'm not impulsive that way. Maybe maybe there is a lot of things which are happening, but I'll still try to give time to things to settle. And I think that's where I would mostly listen to things, and especially when I come home, I don't want to kind of again talk about the office and all. So whenever Niti is talking about something that has happened in the office or something that she has on her mind, I'll be just listening and maybe registering at times and not at many a times. So a lot of time, then next day she'll complain that this is what I said, and I would like, no, you have not told this. No, yesterday I was telling this to you. But the whole point is that I somehow don't want to kind of bring work
home,
because I actually work long hours, because I start early in the morning. I teach in the college in the first half, and then in the second half I am at the office. So as such, the working hours are too long for me comparatively. So I don't want to kind of then bring work at home, and I would like to kind of laze out, to be honest, when I am back at home.
Okay.
So that's why I don't like to carry work home.
Both of us usually don't bring home, so there are no extending hours, working hours at home. So whatever we finish, we try and wind up at office itself, and don't only it is, you know, sometimes things we discuss, otherwise we avoid doing that.
Okay. So it's a nice balance. Wonderful. Yes. I was hoping, you know, I will get to hear some very juicy things where, you know, there are fights happening over dinner about what happened at work. So, okay, nice to know that, you know, it's a very balanced.
No, we have another secret is that you know, I don't like, we don't work together most of the time.
Okay.
So we distribute our work.
That's why the balance is there.
Yes.
So we distribute our work. So either it is some sort of a vertical distribution or a horizontal distribution about, okay, this is what you are supposed to do and this is what I am supposed to do. So that's not overlapping.
Till date, we have not worked on any project together.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No, it's, you cannot say we have not worked, but
at times it's just certain moments that we come in and, you know, we discuss and we just get again back to work. Otherwise, directly, it's hardly, I think, except for Gopi, Talao, I don't think we have worked together, you know. So 100% together.
The project that you guys work together is the most beautiful for Aangan architects, and so maybe that's an you know, that's a sign that you guys shouldn't work together more often. So continuing on the personal front, Niti, I know that she likes to be behind the lenses as well. What do you do, Vishal, in your leisure time? You know, any other artistic hobbies that you have?
Sadly, no.
Okay.
I like to laze out because again, I told you I have long working hours. So basically, I want to kind of be at ease whenever I am at home.
Okay.
I'm very much fond of good movies. So that's, if you consider that in art some or the other way. So that's the kind of hobby.
Absolutely.
So I'm very much into movies and all sorts of movies, from Bollywood to Hollywood to even regional cinema, and even foreign movies is what I am interested in. So I kind of keep on watching a lot of movies. And another thing is kind of traveling is something that I'm very much fond of. And I think both of us are fond of traveling, and we travel in a very interesting manner. We go together, but we are not together. Okay. Because you know, we are both at the same time physically there, but we are pursuing different things. So she is pursuing photography, and I don't at all like to do photography or kind of capture those moments. I only like to kind of witness that and kind of, you know, absorb them in myself. So I'm just, you know, plainly roaming around, observing things and being in the in a different. So we like to go to different cultures and contexts and places in India and abroad also. And we have traveled extensively all these years, and those are some of the finest things that are there as a person that we can cherish of. And that's something that is there as a hobby.
Okay.
So another thing that we both share is, you know, experimenting and tasting new food.
Oh, okay.
So wherever we are, whichever place we are traveling, we try and try to have local food, you know, with local taste, or the roadside food. So we usually be with that place completely when we are traveling. So that is one thing that we share common together.
And I think that is one element that is going to, you know, have a very beautiful impact on your profession as well. You guys are in a field which has got a lot to do with, you know, creativity and personalities and individuals and spaces. So I think that beautifully adds on to your personal growth as well. Wonderful. But amazing. It's so nice that you have such a balance between the two of you, and giving each other space, and, you know, understanding each other's likes and dislikes. And I love what Vishal said. We are there together physically, but then again, we are pursuing what each of us like. So I don't think a lot of people can boast of that. So
that's why you will not find too many photographs of me posing for Niti because we have an agreement that let's not do that. And that's why she does all these things with the kids, and
Kids,
that's
yeah.
where she gets her subject.
So, you guys are the proud parents of twins, Rehan and Tatwa. So let me ask you, have the artistic genes carried on?
I think Tatva is more artistic, having an artistic bent, and she likes to kind of draw, paint, and have a more of an artist's eye. Even photography, she's like interested because of Niti, and she goes on photo walks with Niti and all, and that's what she from her own side tells Niti about all these things. While Rishan is more into science and those kind of things, into planets and animal kingdom and those kind of things wherein he is interested into.
Okay.
So both are very, very different. Honestly speaking, we don't see something which is very directly kind of coming from us per se, and we are happy with that. That they are kind of having their own taste or interest, and we also allow them whatever they want to do.
That's beautiful. But what do the kids feel about your work, especially when they see public projects or, urban landscapes that you guys have worked on? Do they feel proud, or do they tell other kids, yeah, my parents have designed this? So what are their reactions?
Yes, they do that. Yes, they do that. Like whenever there is this mention of, especially the project of Gopi, Talao, and or maybe the couple of projects that we have done in the city, they immediately said, okay, this has been done by our parents. So they try to make it a point that it is known to everyone.
When we were doing Gopi Talao project, Vishal used to say, because that project was not a 1 day or 6 months project. So he always used to joke out, I'm doing this project for my kids. So today when they visit there, and they are so proudly, this is what my parents have done. Everybody whosoever talks, even in the school, when this is talked about, the place Gopi Talao comes up, and they're like, ma'am, my parents have done that.
Wow.
They'll make a point to tell everyone that that's done by us.
Yeah. And rightly so. You guys have left your mark on the city landscape, which is something to be really proud of. So I'm sure the kids really feel proud about that. Wonderful. So tell me something, guys. Coming back to your projects, you guys design a lot very close to nature, right? I mean, a lot of your designs have that nature element in it. So the influences come from your traveling, or has it always been like that, or has it evolved after you've experienced different cultures? How has it been?
It's a combination of both, like something that we learned during our college days, and because we are very closely associated with academics, so it's always also trying to make a point that whatever you practice, what you preach, it's not two different thing. And it is kind of in a way challenging also when that your peers, your students, they are also going to kind of in a way judge whatever you are doing, and that's kind of a challenge also, and that is something that I'm very up for taking. And so all these things together, including academics, traveling, whatever I have learned as a student, is something that I have always used to our advantage. So it's my personal way of looking at things, and I think most of us, we also try to. So there is still a very student-like approach that we take, like very religiously looking into things, trying to learn from whatever is being offered by the place, by the culture, by the people for whom we are designing. So we try to be as naive as possible to kind of receive things, right. And that's where I feel this connect kind of happens in most of the case. So rather than trying to be in a very dominating position that no, as an architect we have so much of years of experience, so now we'll tell you how things have to be done, or we will tell you how you have to live, rather than kind of taking it, absorbing it, and trying to kind of then give the best out of it. So as we kind of grew as a firm, it started becoming more and more refined. We had more of systems in place. Whatever mistakes that we did in past, we tried to kind of overcome that in the next projects by having better systems in place, by having checks so that we don't commit the same error again, and so on and so forth. So I think it's a culmination of all these things over the period of time that as a student and as a practicing architect we have gathered, and that the synthesis of everything kind of comes into the final product that we do now.
Right. So the pandemic, it has I think changed business scenarios all over the world. So how has it changed the way your profession functions, or how things going for you guys during the last 1 year?
The good point is that clients and people around the world, and whosoever in our circle also, they have started experiencing that people are now more open to working far distances also.
Right.
So initially it was more or less bound to the region. Correct. That okay, if I'm working in Surat, so maybe in Gujarat or a little bit of Maharashtra, I'll get projects.
Right.
But this pandemic has opened doors and acceptance for long distance projects also, even international projects also, because we have been since last 1.5 years getting a lot of inquiries even from the US, the Australia, the UK for interior projects, like can you give us designs, or can you give us maybe a design for our houses or refurbishment and things like that, because now people have understood that okay, because out of compulsion they had to be at home and they had to kind of do work remotely. I think people have kind of unlocked this potential of working remotely and still getting whatever they want. So I think that's one good part about that has happened in pandemic. Another part is about the office. Suddenly we have realized that we really don't need everyone in the office to stay. So we have made it partially even now also, like if somebody feels that want to work from home, we allow them. Okay, because there are a lot of people who have family responsibility at times. At times they have to take care of someone at home, or maybe they are traveling also at times.
Right.
So now they don't have to take holidays. Okay. So, if you are able to work for 8 hours, whatever is the office time, so we give them flexibility, we give them, that kind of openness is there that has come, and that acceptance has come in us also as the employers.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Initially, it was like either you come to the office or you are on leave.
Correct.
But now it is like you don't come to the office, but still you're working.
Yeah.
So, that has given, and even we get productivity. Because otherwise they'll have to take leave, they will not work, and then ultimately the work will suffer. So here, that's the second part which I feel has been quite positive about things.
Along with that, the trust that the employees have on us and we have on them have started growing, because you don't have to put checks. So it is the responsibility of the employees who are working from home. So they know that they have to produce certain work, and we put that trust on them that, okay, you work from home, but at the end, you have to give a certain amount of work, or you have to finish this much work.
Right.
So that bonding has also increased because of this thing.
And surprisingly, what happens is that initially we used to be the last one to get out of the office as the bosses or whatever. Now it is the other way around. We are not the last ones. It's normally the office is closed by some or the other one who is kind of working and trying to meet the deadline or whatever. So I think that change, of course, it's not because of only of pandemic, but in the last few years we have seen that change of the employees taking the responsibility of things, and I think that is something which is very healthy. That has increased in the pandemic time, wherein they have also responsibly taken this into their stride.
Yes.
And that's something that has helped, and rightly put by Niti, that it has somehow also increased the bonding between us. So we also kind of take care of each other that ways. It's not only about the salaries and the finances, but also as person that has kind of come in because of the pandemic, and you have become more sensitive towards this
Right.
human being, and rather than just looking at them as people who work for you.
Who work for you.
Yes.
That's a very, very beautiful take, because you don't hear employees often talking, employers often talking about their employees in terms of the bonding or what they can provide. Very rightly said, this is the time when I think it's either bought out the best or the worst of organizations. So it's very nice to see that it's been a positive side for you guys, and it's changed the organizational culture and opened up other elements for you as well. That's wonderful. So what would be some suggestions that you guys would like to give to budding architects who are aspiring to step into this profession or be entrepreneurs like yourselves? What is the kind of suggestions you would like to give them?
Niti, would you like to say something?
Okay, for the freshers who come out, I would just suggest them, instead of getting into individual practice or their own practice, they should work for someone, work for a good firm, know the market, know the situation, know the surrounding, travel a little bit, know what they like, what are their forte of work, and then after a year or two they should get into the practice of their own if they want to. Also, I would suggest them to go do a ethical practice, where the clients are they're not put at stake, they're not taken advantage of, or whatever we design, whatever we suggest them, whatever we buy, it should be in for the clients, where they are benefited the most. So that kind of ethical practice should be carried out by the freshers, by the new generation that comes up. So that is one thing that I would like the new coming architects to look into when they start their own.
Wonderful.
Yes, so I would also take this point forward. I think ethically being ethical is something which is very much a need of the hour, and a lot of things has now kind of come on us as professionals to kind of do that, because I feel that all other professionals, like the way we want to have trust into our doctors and trust into our lawyers, because we kind of depend on them whenever we are in some or the other sort of trouble.
Right.
Here also, as architects, as designers, we should command that much of a trust also by the way we behave. I think that is something which I would want all our youngsters to kind of take into account whenever. See, initially, of course, everyone wants to survive. They want to kind of be on their own. So there are a lot of wherein we can say that there are a lot of attractions which are maybe not ethical in the initial part, but believe me, and I would tell this with our own experience, that it is not going to remain like that for a long time. If you will do good practice, ethical practice, maybe a little bit time it will take, but then you will have a more solid foundation. So be ethical is, of course, I'll take from what Niti was talking about. But I would also like to say that all these new people who are coming, they have immense amount of opportunity in the world. Like when we started practicing, still architecture as a profession, design as a profession has got a certain boundary, has got a certain box or a framework in which you practice. And there were certain kind of projects that as architects you used to do. Now that shackles have broken. So I would kind of encourage them to have multidisciplinary practice, collaborate with many different kind of people, not only architects, designers, but maybe into performing arts, into graphics, into arts, into literature, into maybe things like artificial intelligence and robotics and all these things. So, there's this huge possibility of collaboration that even this pandemic has given. I think that is also something which is there. Of course, that has given, like you can reach across the globe also, can collaborate and kind of bring something new on the turf. So that is something that I would want the new generation to kind of get into, to kind of break this stereotype things that are there prevalent in the market, and kind of come up with something which is very unique, very innovative, and not bind themselves into a sort of a stereotypical way. Yes, so that is something that I would encourage the new generation, new budding architects or designers who are coming into the market.
Oh, some really wonderful suggestions from both of you. So what does the future look like for both Aangan Architects and both of you?
Aangan Architects, what we want to do now is, of course, we have a certain kind of projects that are coming up, and we are working on them. We are trying to kind of get into more of innovation. Two things that we would like to explore in coming years is, one is the technology part. So that is something that we are keenly looking forward to, because we feel that we need to get into the technological aspect of designing. So that's something, and that has to do with, again, what I was suggesting to the new budding architects also, artificial intelligence or parametrics and other things also. So that is something we would like to explore, and parallelly we would also like to put things in perspective. Whatever we have been doing since last so many years, we would also like to kind of get into research and publication, so that this whole whatever body of work that we have been building, and if there are something common, we can contribute to the common knowledge pool. I think that is what Aangan would like to do, and of course, kind of getting into different kinds of projects across India, and of course, we would also like to have our international projects in place. So that's what the future is, what we think.
Along with these two, we would also like to get into sustainable architecture, green architecture, so which is more for environment, benefit of environment. So that is also, we have already started working on those lines, but that is what we would like to get seriously, and for every project we would like to go for that. So that is another thing that we look forward, and we plan to do it in our firm in coming years.
Okay. And that also kind of brings us to this very pertinent question of what should be the future of the profession. So I think this sustainability in a real sense, not only in terms of rating, bringing rating or taking advantage of whatever policies are there, but in real sense having sustainable built environment. Because I think when we are building, we are itself kind of damaging the environment to a certain extent. But we cannot just stop building things, because that's something which also is required. So how, with the minimal damage to the environment and giving back more than what we are taking from the Mother Earth, I think that is the kind of practice every firm will have to do in their own manner. Like, it can be a high-tech sustainability practice, or it can be a very, very rooted to the place, using local materials, having alternative construction technology, so on and so forth, or maybe being innovative about it. But environment has to be there in the center. There is not one way of doing it. There can be multiple ways of doing it. But everyone has to keep the nature into account whenever they are doing this, is what I think as a future. Because still we see a boom into infrastructure and real estate and construction in India for another at least 10 to 12 years, 10 to 12 years, because we are still into that growing mode.
Yes.
So there is going to be demand of a lot of infrastructure, housing, and a lot of other supporting things. So I think there is enough of work enough of scope for everyone in India. But if we do it responsibly and if we do it sustainably, I think that would be a great game changer for India as a country.
Right. Those are some, I think, very beautiful goals you guys have set up, of not just thinking about the future of Aangan architects, but also giving back to the society and giving back to the environment. And with such beautiful thoughts, I'm sure Gopi Talao is just a stepping stone for your, mark on the Surat landscape. And we are wishing you from Jupiter Learning all the best to see your mark on the Indian terrain everywhere and global landscapes. So I think you guys have it in you, and very soon we will be seeing that. So all the best to Aangan Architects, all the best to both of you. And thank you so much for taking out time today and letting us take a peek into your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sandhya.
Thank you.